Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. As you see right here, Ethan Page from the firm takes on Daniel Bryan. Ethan Page is sick and tired of being passed around, not taken serious as a could be future world champion one day. But Daniel Bryan has a lot of obstacles in his way, and we'll talk about obstacles as world champion MJF shows up with a female companion. I don't get why he even showed that in the first place. But we'll get to that coming up, as well as tag team action. The Blackpool Combat Club is in action as Ring of Honor champion Claudio, better known as Cesaro, and John Moxley team up against the up and coming tag team of Top Flight. Top Flight, could they unseat the Blackpool Combat Club? We'll talk about it coming up as well. Speaking of tag team titles, the tag team trios tag team titles are on the line. Match 4, Falls Count Anywhere, Death Triangle versus the Elite. Can the Elite or the Death Triangle manage to get a win over each other into the match? The Elite needs it more. We'll talk about it come up, as well as another tag team for the women's side. Ruby Soho teams up with Willow Nightingale to take on Ty Mello and Anna JS from the Jericho Appreciation Society. A lot of matches going on coming up, as well as the main event. Warlow taking on Samoa Joe for the gold. We'll talk about these two big behemoths battle for the TNT Championship. Who's going to emerge victorious on Dynamite's New Year's Eve Smash? All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents New Year's Eve Smash edition of AEW Dynamite. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the conversation. Join in by using the hashtag Pro Wrestling. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We got a lot to get to as we talk about the opening match. As you see right here, Ethan Page from the firm takes on Daniel Bryan. Brian Danielson of the Blackpool Combat Club. Ethan Page is sick and tired of being overlooked, and he wants some attention. He wants to start out at the top by taking out Brian Danielson. I like to call him Daniel Bryan, but hey, I'm so used to him WWE name. Ethan Page could be one day a future world champion. Daniel Bryan wants the world championship, but Daniel Bryan got some little company as world champion MJF. The most Tony Schiavone says it best. MJF is the most despicable world champion that AEW has, and he looks forward to keeping the belt. But he had a female companion. I thought this man was engaged to get married. I don't know what MJF doing, but he likes to play games. Well, Daniel Bryan didn't waste no time with Ethan Page. It was a competitive matchup. Ethan Page gave his all, his might, but he was no meant to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan used the LaBelle, some version of My Flag Camel Clutch LaBelle lock to get the win, making Ethan Page tap out and pass out. This is far from over between these two men, but I can tell you, Ethan Page looks like tough as nails, could be a future world champion someday. I said to myself, he was the better wrestler than Josh Alexander is a good wrestler, but I thought Ethan Page was a better wrestler than Josh. But we'll see. But they was the North in Impact Wrestling. Ethan moved on to AEW. So hey, we'll see on that. But we see that Daniel Bryan looking forward to get his hands on MJF someday. We don't know when that day will be, but I'm looking forward to seeing it when it does happen. When MJF, that coward, that yellow-bellied coward, as a champion. Speaking of doing cowardly things, Samoa Joe went and attacked Wardlow's leg after Wardlow was set to do an interview, attacking the leg of Wardlow. I don't know what that's going to lead to, but we'll talk about it later on in the show, what that led to for the main event for the TNT Championship between Wardlow and Samoa Joe coming up. Speaking of that, the Chris Jericho issue his warning to Ricky Starks. Jericho looking forward to going against Ricky Starks. As Ricky Starks embarrassed him last week with a word saying that the Jericho Appreciation Society is for jobbers. But Jericho and Starks will meet next week for the first time ever. Ricky Starks was close to winning the world championship. He'll be one day a future world champion. But Jericho looking to embarrass Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks looking to embarrass Chris Jericho, talking about his weight loss, about him trying to gain a six pack. It's the man, it just gets crazy and crazy. But that didn't stop there. As the Blackpool Combat Club was in tag team action, Cesaro and Moxley was in action against Top Flight, the next up and coming rising stars. Top Flight went against Cesaro, and I mean it was a good fair match between the two teams. Top Flight proving that they're going to be one day world tag team champions. Top Flight trying to do aerial maneuvers to Cesaro. Cesaro's doing that famous spin wheel, but he was no match to Top Flight on what had happened. But we could see that down the road as Top Flight didn't win, but Cesaro and Moxley get the win over Top Flight. So Top Flight got mad respect for him. So we'll see down the road. Also, too, Will Yuta calling out Swerve. We know Will Yuta and Swerve. Swerve last week introduced his new stable with Parker Bordeaux and another dude who's from minor league indie basketball. Will Luder stepping up, trying to get the attention of Swerve. After Swerve did what he did to Keith Lee, attack Keith Lee from behind. We haven't seen Rick Ross. Maybe this was a one-part appearance, but we'll see down the road. Also, too, Hook was in action. Hook, the handsome devil, was in action. But could we be seeing this match? Hook versus Morrissey. You know that Morrissey and Hook could hook up one day in a match and fight for the FTW championship. Hook, the current FTW champion, and found him a new ally in Jungle Boy. Hook and Jungle Boy are now teaming up. And we hope to see how that's going to progress down the road. Also, too, in women's tag team action, Ruby Soho teams up with Willow Nightingale against Ty Mello and Anna JS. We know Ty Mello and Anna JS needed to win at the Ty Mello got her butt whooped by Ruby Soho, so she needed to win one way or another. Also, too, the Acclaim mocking Jeff Jarrett from behind right there. Jeff Jarrett getting mocked by the Acclaim with the guitar, and I guess somebody being Macho Man. Mascotska delivering raps that Jeff Jarrett about his current wife used to be the wife of Kurt Angle as he stole her away. We remember that infamous TNA storyline where Jeff Jarrett in real life had an affair with Kurt Angle's ex-wife, Karen Angle, who's now Jeff Jarrett's current wife, Karen Jarrett. The Acclaim mocking that, and don't be surprised Karen Jarrett shows up some way, somehow, in a capacity to showcase herself one way or another. We tell you too that Hangman Page is 2 weeks away to probably getting cleared to wrestle again. Hangman Page suffered that match after he went against world champion Moxley, and Hangman Page might be back on the wrestling ring sooner rather than later. That's his first thing, his health. So hopefully his health is recovered. So hey, you know how that be. Speaking of that, next week on Dynamite, on this week's on AEW Rampage, got a lot of matches. Orange Cassidy defends his championship against best friend Trent Barella. John Moxley is in. We'll hear from John Moxley, Jamie Hayter, Will Yuta versus Swerve, and Jade versus Kiara Hogan. There's a lot of matches on. They're trying to up the ante on Rampage. Rampage is like a dime brand to me. No, TBS ain't happy, but they had to Uh, try to commit to them. So, hey, see how that go. Speaking of that, we'll tell you later on Hot Topics on what's going on with CM Punk, and everyone's looking forward to. May have got previews of Dax from FTR previewed his podcast. He had a lot to say about CM Punk. We'll talk about Hot Topics coming up. Well, we get to it. The best right here of the 7 series right here. The Death Triangle taking on the Elite in match 4, the best of 7. A lot of matches going on. Right here, Carnage, leaving the Elite to get the win over the Death Triangle, getting them an advanced victory, and they could be one win away to winning back their tag team titles as becoming the first and could be the third. We'll see that sooner rather than later. So hey. All right. Everyone's talking about the main event for the AEW TNT Championship. Champion and King of Television, Samoa Joe, who also is the Ring of Honor Television Champion, put his TNT title on the line against former champion Wardlow. Wardlow claims he was never pinned for the gold in that triple threat match against Samoa Joe and him and Stars. Well, this match was built on that. This match was built on intensity, and what a tense matchup it was. You see right here, Samoa Joe choking out Wardlow and defeated Wardlow. Wardlow looking helpless in nature and stuff until Darby Allin came to make the rescue and save Wardlow from Samoa Joe. And Darby Allin, former TNT champion, wants to go back. He wants to become TNT champion once again. Darby Allin is on a roll, and Darby Allin looking at the gold that he once held nearly 2 years ago. Darby Allin wants that gold back. The only way to do it is defeat Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe pinned Wardlow. I don't know if this make Wardlow look bad or not. He got to go back to the totem pole. We have to wait and see on that. But it didn't make Wardlow look strong. It made Wardlow look weak in a way. When they first did it with his leg being hurt and injured, and Wardlow tapping out to Joe in that concluded clutch as Joe continues to reign as the king of television with his 2 championship prize possessions. But you have to wonder, what's next for Samoa Joe and Darby Allin? Is Darby Allin looking towards winning the gold one way or another? So we have to wait and see. All right. That ends the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We move forward to Wrestling Hot Topics. We look forward to Wrestling Hot Topics as we look forward to seeing this Dax from FTR. Dax, who's got a podcast that is released now, but it will be released to the public tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to hear what Dax from FTR, who got a podcast called FTR the Podcast with Dax. Dax will be saying unfiltered things and what he thinks and what he believes. Dax speaks about Jim Cornette, speaks about Cody Rhodes, and he speaks about the infamous stuff, what's going on within CM Punk. We heard experts from the podcast that CM Punk, when he won the AEW championship, he didn't want to be AEW champion. He just wanted to have fun. And Dax's misconceptions of CM Punk at first, and Dax will reveal and elaborate tomorrow on this podcast. I look forward to hearing, and we'll give you a report on the Pro Wrestling Show on the Friday edition of the SmackDown Ring Report. We'll hear from that. So it's a must-hear podcast, and I think this is a takeaway. This is an expert that they said Dax wants to make a plea for CM Punk and the Elite, who were battling in that match tonight, to put stuff under troubled water and put it under the bridge, bury the hatchet. And that was Dax saying, and they had a quote from CM Punk saying, "Duh." And I think they would. Dax is kind of like a level-headed person. Dax wants everyone to get along. And so we'll see what this means for Punk, Dax, and the Elite. And how they'll make AEW stronger. As Dax said, they'll make AEW stronger for the next decade if they can do this and do this right. So, like, speaking of Dax, Dax was I guess in action with Dragon Lee and them losing the belts to Dragon Lee and his brother. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Speaking of that, we subway to that in the good perfect subway. We're hearing that Dragon Lee has signed with WWE. Dragon Lee, who's been a Lucha Libre sensation, has now signed with WWE. He made it official. Dragon Lee is now WWE bound, and he'll go to NXT and start on their development tour in January. So this is a good get for WWE. WWE is looking for that Mexican plan, the Mexican audience, and the one way to do it is to go to Dax, and so Dax can help that Mexican market. Dax has the look, the charisma, and the ability. So we'll see how Dax do. Dragon Lee would do in his role to go to WWE. I think this is a good get. ESPN, I think they was the first ones to um break the news, and now Dragon Lee is now going to be part of the WWE family under the NXT umbrella. So we'll look forward to seeing that down the road. Speaking of that, we're hearing reports that the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, was scheduled to be a part of the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season. But that's not going to be the case because WWE with the visa issues with the Gypsy King and stuff. Now we're hearing that the Gypsy King may have mob ties, and this is what TMZ has reported. Daniel Joseph Khan and Gypsy King Tyson Fury have mob ties. I hope this ain't true, but you never know. In the world, WWE, in this world, people may mislead you and deceive you. You never know. So hey, how that may even fan out and stuff. So we'll see. Also, too, this is right now what people are speculating that the current plan for WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles will be. They said night one, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I don't know how they're going to take the championship off of Roman Reigns, but we'll see. They said night two will be Roman Reigns to be determined for the Universal Championship. They say if they can't get The Rock, then Cody will be in the slot against Roman. I mean, let's see. But I'm looking forward to this. It needs to be Seth Rollins versus Drew versus Cody, a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. That will be a hell of a banger. Both men, all three men born in the mid 80s. Rollins born 86, McIntyre and Rose both born 85. So it makes sense that the WWE Championship and Raw needs a world champion so bad. Raw has not been without a world champion almost since WrestleMania, since Brock Lesnar unified the belts. Roman Reigns has been the Raw World Champion, but he hasn't been on Raw as much defending the championship as he should. So Raw desperately needs a world championship, and a world championship caliber match makes sense. Make it a triple threat match between Rollins, McIntyre, and Rose, and Cody wins the championship and become the dream of a lifetime, as they say, the American dream, just the road, the dream of a lifeboat. And he'd be happy to see his baby boy win the WWE Championship, the championship that Dusty couldn't win. He almost won it in the 70s against superstar Billy Graham. And then Roman Reigns versus The Rock, instant storyline, the bloodline. Who's the true head of the table, Roman or The Rock? That'll be a match right there. Everyone will get behind. So, hey, for that. All right. All right. Roman Reigns could be up there with the likes of Hulk Hogan, Cena, Savage, San Martino. Well, I don't think nobody can beat Bruno San Martino record. That man has been champion for nearly 8 years. I mean, Roman has been champion for 2, but it's going to be hard and impossible for Roman to get that belt off of him. But we can't wait to see it. All right. we're gonna end that right now with the AEW ring report right now. This is the thumbnail for it. Samoa Joe looking at Darby Allin, looking at his goal, and a lot of others. So, for me being Kendrick Dick saying so long, we'll see you Friday for the SmackDown ring report. See you then.